A few days ago, many of us were outraged when the President of the United States made these statements at the Naval Academy graduation.
They've forgotten that our ancestors trounced an empire, tamed a continent, and triumphed.
The inference was that the Native American people were a savage, feral people that needed to be tamed by European influence. The idea itself is laughable, considering that most Europeans would not have survived a few months without the sophisticated agricultural skill and building and settlement technique the Native American people provided. That, of course, was before the Europeans decided to attempt genocide on the Native people that had helped them. But I digress. Like many of you, I was outraged with the statement. But I also knew I had heard them before, but I couldn't put my finger on where. Then it hit. In researching white supremacist groups for one of my radio shows, I had come across a popular gathering website for neo-Nazis and white supremacists. It was called bloodandsoil.org. Now, in their long-winded, historically inaccurate, grammatically questionable manifesto, they say, when our European ancestors first came to this savage continent, they had a variety of purpose set against the harsh life on the frontier and the common enemy in the strange, unexplored reaches of America, yet to be touched by civilization. Sound familiar? This statement mirrors the president's statement almost down to the word choice. And when you read on in this waste of cyberspace, you'll find statements like, the American identity was something uniquely forged in the struggle of our ancestor. An African, for example, may have lived, worked, and even been classed as a citizen in America for centuries, yet he is not an American. So the President of the United States was standing in front of the graduating class of the United States Naval Academy and covertly sending dog whistles to his white supremacist followers by regurgitating their propaganda in full view of the world. He was letting them know that even though he can't say it out loud, he was still in their corner, and he supports their agenda of a racially purified nation, free of niggers, spics, and chinks. It's no secret that the president's core base of supporters are the same people who give stiff-arm salutes to a guy whose mustache never finished puberty, or have secret club meetings wearing grandma's bed sheets as a costume. But my question is to those other Trump supporters. Those people who say, I'm not a racist, I support Trump because, followed by some stupid shit that doesn't make sense to anybody that has half a brain cell. How long can you pretend that this man has any agenda other than that of the white supremacists? How many excuses can you make when he quotes white extremist websites in his speech? How many times can you dismiss him retweeting neo-Nazi posts? How many times can you make excuses for him calling other human beings animal or rapist or murderer before you can admit that your real support for him is because he promised to turn the clock back and put white Americans back on top at the expense of all other races? Listen, I have some unpopular views, but at least I have the courage to get on the radio twice a day, 5 days a week, express those views, and stand behind them. The most pathetic thing about Trump supporters is that you always find a way to dance around the issue, rather than just boldly standing behind your conviction. You make every excuse for your support for him when anybody with a brain can see what his agenda is. Bottom line, if you're a Trump supporter, you're a racist. And you're a cowardly racist because you're trying to hide it. I'm Roxx of the wu-tang Killa Beez, and I approve this message.